Well, what up, y'all? Got that load off yesterday, or actually this morning, in Arkansas. Had to play outlaw last night a little bit. I could have got myself into some trouble last night. Had to pull out some tricks. So anyway, avoided that. Thank the good Lord. Man, learned a lesson there, that's for sure. But yeah, we delivered that load this morning down near the yard. Brought the truck back up to the yard. They did an annual inspection on it. Fixed my fairing. I think this truck is about fixed all the way. I think it's probably not very far from being traded in, honestly. They were considering replacing the brakes on it today, and I think they decided against it because it's probably in line to get traded in. I'll probably be in a new truck for too long. All I asked is that it runs like this one. That's all I asked. I don't care. It's supposed to have some nicer features. It's supposed to be just like this one, but it's supposed to have a couple of extra little features on it. As long as it runs like it's supposed to, like this one does, I don't care. We lost a guy in our office today. I hate to see anybody lose a job, but we lost somebody yesterday. They let him go in the office, and I feel bad because I just saw him the other day. I mean, he seemed like a nice guy to me. He was always nice to me. I had a couple people today tell me, about his attitude or whatever. But, I could see where he would come across that way. But whenever I talked to him, he was always nice to me. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Just because they look or they're acting a certain way until you actually talk to that person. Don't judge them. And I think that's what was going on there a little bit. And I just feel bad. I mean, he had moved from another state to here for this job, and I think he was implementing a whole nother program in the company and all. So, but I'm a little bit surprised to hear that today. But like I said, you gotta move on. But I'm up here getting loaded. I took me a nap, getting loaded to go to Texas. They're just running me like these little, what I call short hops. 400 or 500 mile runs. That's not very far. It's just going down in the Dallas area. I mean, they're just trying to keep me close to get me home for next week. I got to be home for that thing, but for that doctor's appointment. And then after that, I told him, I said, let's light the fires, man. After I come back next week from that, we're going to be kicking this thing and we're going to be hitting full afterburner. And I need to make as much money as I can. So I'm going to make the sacrifice to stay out here as long as I can. I know last year I stayed on the road from the 4th of July until October 1st. And I went to Florida to a concert, and I took 4 days. I wished I had taken about 10 days. I think it was mentally starting to get to me a little bit, being on the road that long. And people I talked to on the phone, they could tell the difference in my demeanor. But I'm a little bit more prepared for it now. And well, actually, was it last year? No, year before last, 2021. Man, amazing how a year goes by. But yeah, and then we'll just go from there. Hope y'all being safe, and we're gonna head down to Texas tonight, down around the Dallas area. I'm gonna find somewhere to park, and do that deal. We'll go from there. Y'all be good. Talk to y'all later. See ya. Oh man. I'm kind of bummed out right now. It's coming down here. I'm down here in the Dallas area. It's coming down from Oklahoma into Texas, and I believe I think we were still in Oklahoma when it happened. And somehow on the side of the road, there was a big truck on the side of the road, and he was doing something, and he had his dog out there. It was like a big German Shepherd, and for what in the world he had that dog out there running around loose. The dog ran out. I got over in the left lane. The dog ran out in front of me, and there was nowhere for me to go. And he stopped right in front of me, and I mean, I ran over that dog, and it just broke my heart. I just don't know. That's the first time I've hit anything like that, probably ever, in a truck. It tore off my daggone lug nut covers on the right side. I mean, I can replace them. That's not that big a deal, but still, you know, that was somebody's dog, and he just, why in the world he had him out there on the side of the road where all them trucks come through there like that? You know what I mean? He just ran out there, and he just stopped right there in front of me. There's nothing I could do, you know. The man was standing. I mean, it was either hit the dog or the man was right there, and there was just nothing I could do. And it just breaks my heart. I mean, I'm sure that man's probably devastated about that dog dying like that. I mean, anyway, I'm just bummed out. But we'll talk to y'all later. I'm gonna figure out what's going on here. I'm supposed to unload in the morning, but I believe if I go in there now, I can probably get this thing off tonight. But we'll just see. We'll talk to y'all later. Well, good morning. This is something that's been bugging the crap out of me about a lot of you drivers out here. Just saying. I'm going to break this down to a kindergarten level so even you idiots can figure this out. That being said, if you're not smart enough to figure this out anyway, you shouldn't be out here driving to begin with, period. Maybe you're part of the reason why all these wrecks and all this bull crap that goes on out here. Okay? I'm going to break this down real simple for y'all. Alright. This is forgive me, I don't have a whiteboard or anything fancy to do this with. I just drew this on a legal pad. Okay? This is a weigh station. This is how most weigh stations are configured. Okay? Most weigh stations have a sign, or they have a rolling scale that's even out here on the interstate, like down here. Okay? If the speed limit is 70 miles an hour and they got signs 2 miles back, big white signs, big huge white signs that say transponder, getting right lane, all trucks right lane, whatever. You know, and you know there's a weigh station coming up. Why in the world can y'all not figure out? That's why they put the rolling scales out on the road, because y'all were too stupid to figure out how to do this. So they put it out here thinking that, and it's causing backups on the interstate. Like I said, if you can't figure that out, give up your license, please. If there's a sign that says 70 miles an hour and you slow down to 45 to go across that scale, you're an idiot. You're supposed to maintain at least 100 feet between you and the truck in front of you when you go across the rolling scale down here. Okay? A lot of us has transponders in our trucks. Like that right there. That white thing right there in the windshield. You know what I'm talking about. If you go under that transponder and it gives you a green light, why in the world do you jump out there in the middle lane? Especially if you got a truck that's governed at 65, 68, 70, whatever it is. You shouldn't be driving. If you got a truck that's governed at that low of a speed, you shouldn't be driving in the middle lane in the first place. I know that your companies teach y'all to do that crap, but how about if somebody got in front of you and just rode the middle lane in front of you for 50 miles? How would you like that? Okay? But I'm going to break this down. This is how you enter a weigh station. If you get the rolling scale out here and they've got a sign that says bypass, you bypass. You gas on it at that point. And you go past the scale. See how hard that is? If you get a red light and you come in here and there's a sign right there and it says, big word, maintain, 30 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, whatever the speed is. Big word right there, maintain. Okay? That means you're supposed to hit that rolling scale right there at somewhere a little bit below said speed. If it says maintain 30, do 28. That means you hit that scale at 28 miles an hour or 25 or whatever, not 15 or 5. All right? They give you enough time. They've got these scales calibrated to when you roll across that rolling scale right there, that arrow is calibrated for that speed. It will tell you whether to go into the main scale or not, or to give you the green light and keep going. You don't have to go 5 miles an hour like they do in Kentucky. Okay? When that big word right there, they got it all the way down the side, all the way down the exit ramp right there. Maintain said speed, 45, 30, 25, whatever it is. Okay? You do not have to come to a complete stop right here to turn into here. You do not have to stop. The only time you should stop is if there's trucks lined up, and they're not gonna usually line it up like that in the first place. But the only time you should stop here is if the only time you should stop here is if there's trucks lined up out here and you can't get by, which is very rare. This is a bypass lane. Right there, that's a bypass lane. Okay? Very, very difficult to figure out. Like I said, if you've been driving any amount of time, 6 months, a year, 2 years, the longer that you've been driving and you can't figure this out, please give up your CDL. Because you're a hazard to this road. Scenario number 2. Merging. If you've been driving for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and you cannot figure out merging, please give up your CDL. Please. You don't have the brain power to drive a 80,000 pound missile down the road if you cannot figure this out. Okay? There's something called the Smith system. It's defensive driving. You can look it up online. Anybody can look it up and take the class. 5 keys of safety. One of the main keys is looking ahead as far as you can. Why in the world would you be in this lane and you get to this point where the bridge, this is the bridge, this is the exit ramp, this is the entrance ramp. Why would you be in this lane and you get here to this point and there's cars coming down this ramp and you get to here and you've already got cars lined up alongside of you, then you want to cut your blinker on and you expect people to let you over. That is your fault. Number 2, it's not your job to get out of this lane for these people. If you're stuck, if you got people beside you here and you're in this lane and people coming down this ramp, they have to merge for this, not the other way around. You're already in this travel lane. They have to stop. They have to merge. They have to yield, not here. Even four-wheelers need to learn that. But to prevent said problem here, look, if you would prepare yourself way back here, whether the ramp goes up or if it goes down or whatever, you can be looking way back here and you can be looking up here to see if there's cars turning onto this ramp. If you got cars turning onto this ramp up here and you're going 70 miles an hour here, by the time you get here, they're going to be down this ramp, or they're going to be merging right there. So what you should do at that point, you have a larger amount of time to merge from here than you do from way up here, and you got cars already beside you. You can make adjustments way back here and get over somewhere along in here, or if you can, go ahead and get over. That way you're over. When they come down the ramp, you're already over, and and everybody just flows into traffic. It's called paying attention, people. Like I said, break this down to a kindergarten level so even the idiots can figure this out, because there's plenty of you idiots out here. Plenty of them. If you've been driving for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, however, and you do not know how to log, how to distribute your weight on the trailers, whether it's a dry van, whether it's a flatbed, whether it's a tanker, whatever, if you have not figured that out within the first 6 months, Give up your CDL. You do not have the brain power to be driving an 80,000-pound missile down this road. Like I said, we're going to break this down to a kindergarten level or less so all you idiots can figure this out, hopefully. And I'm not even sure that as dumb as some of these people are out here that I've seen and talked to, I'm not even sure that that's low enough. If you've been driving for 6 months to a year or longer, and you do not know how to do a pre-trip, how to do basic things to keep yourself safe going down the road, looking out for things, looking for doing just basic stuff. If you have not figured that out in the first 6 months, give up your CDL. If you cannot figure out to fuel and to not do a 30-minute break, because I'm putting y'all on notice. Every time I see somebody going forward do that, I'm going to pull in front of them. I'm going to park right in front of them. I'm going to sit there for an hour or better just to do it. Because I am sick to death of all you idiots out here. I am sick of it. I'm sick to death of all the negativity. I'm bringing this to light. I'm trying to bring some light to this because apparently about 80% of the drivers out here, and I say drivers with air quotes, can't figure this out. Okay? Scenario number 3. If you get a rolling scale down here and you get a red light and or the sign on the side tells you to come into the weigh station because of your weight, okay? Once you go in here and you hit this scale, once that thing gives you a green light here, that don't mean wait till you get way out here to gas on it. That means once you hit that scale and you get past that green light and it gives you the bypass to go on through the scale, once you get about even with the weigh station, with the scale house itself, gas on it. Then you don't wait till you get way down here to the ramp and you only going 20 miles an hour or 25 or 30 or whatever it is you're doing, and you got traffic going 75, 80, 70, 65, whatever it is. You need to be gassing on it up here, not down here. Up here, not down here. And once again, when you come out of a weigh station, just because you turn on your blinker does not mean you have the right of way to just yank your truck out in front of somebody who's going 70 or 75 or however fast they're going. You're going to get people killed. I'm not surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if people hadn't already been killed because of idiocy like that, because of idiots like you. Same thing with coming down a ramp. If you're in a truck and you're getting on an interstate here, whether you come from this direction or this way, either way, if you're going down this entrance ramp and it goes, especially if it goes downhill, you need to gas on it as soon as you get on that ramp. And gather as much speed as you can as you go down the ramp, if you can, unless you got somebody in front of you, some four-wheeler or some other truck that's being a dumb idiot and don't know how to drive. But if you got clear space, you need to be gassing on it from here, not down here. And you do not have the right of way. Again, you do not have the right of way. Just because you cut your blinker on, I don't care if you're in the right lane, if you're traveling down the road and some guy come up behind you faster and you decide to cut that blinker on, that does not give you the right to yank your truck out in front of somebody else or another car or whatever. If you're trying to change lanes then you have to be the one to take responsibility and merge into that lane. So if you're coming down this ramp, you need to be as much speed as you can possibly get to match the speed coming through here. And that way you can, I had this happen to me a little bit ago. I had to run all the way into the emergency lane because there was a big truck in this lane, there was another truck in this lane, and then when I got down here, they couldn't get over, and I just rode it on out, and I rode it all the way into the emergency lane. I just kept going. And then when they passed me, I just eased over. I didn't have to stop, because then you're causing a bigger problem. It's called paying attention. It's really not that hard, folks. Another idiocy thing. All you idiots that have government trucks that run 70 or less, let's just say that. There are trucks out here that run much faster than your speed. Okay? Y'all may not like it, but it's just a fact of life. There are trucks out here that run faster than you and will drive faster than you. Okay? Just because you think you're the safety police on the interstate don't make you right. You're gonna cause a problem out here on this road. I have seen people follow other drivers into truck stops, and I have let's just say this. you're causing a bigger problem than what needs to happen. Okay? I had a guy. Now my headlights on my truck are really bright. Even the low beams are real bright. I get people all the time flashing me all the time because they think I got high beams on, and when I high beam their butt and blind them, then they back off. I had a Hirschback truck. And I don't know what it is about y'all Hirschback drivers. Y'all are the biggest bunch of douchebags I ever seen. I had a guy not too long ago. I passed him and he just cut his bright lights on. So I slowed down and he saw what I was doing. I was going to let him get back in front of me and I was just going to ride beside him and blind the crap out of him. He knew he'd messed up. Or I was going to just follow him. Or I would have just followed him because I had a full tank of fuel. I could have just followed him to wherever. And then when he pulled off in said truck stop, I'd have pulled right up behind him. And then we could have had a man-to-man discussion about it. And we could have seen how big of a man he is. Okay. If you got trucks that run less than 70, and you see somebody coming up behind you, I don't care if you're in a pickup truck, a car, a big truck, whatever. I know everything's about you, okay? But it's not. If you see somebody coming up behind you, you wouldn't like it. If you was in your car, if you was at home and in your car, and you had your family with you, and you're driving down the road, doing it however fast, and you had somebody just yank their vehicle out in front of you, it'd burn you up. So if you don't like it being done to you, don't do it to others. Because there are people out here that like to reciprocate your actions back to you. Okay? There are drivers out here that will not take that crap. Or just drive past. They just, you know. This dude, I was down to like 45 miles an hour. I was doing everything I could to get the guy past me. I finally just said the heck with it, and I went on down the road. I started to go somewhere and pull off a ramp, let him go by, and then come by him. That's what I started to do. I'm that type of guy. I'll shoot you with it. That's just how it is. There's enough nonsense that goes on out here. And I've had it with all your stupidity. I've had it. Actions speak louder than words, and I'm fixing to start putting foot to mouth. Even if I have to do it literally. All y'all dumb idiot drivers that don't know how to, that can't figure out a tea leaf from a grass leaf, whatever, grass blade, that ain't got enough sense to figure out how to open up a can of soup, and you out here driving a daggum truck. Y'all take it easy. I'm done talking. I'm just gonna action speak louder than words. Y'all take it easy. I'm gonna say this too. I'm trying to bring positivity in my life this year. And I'm not gonna beg anybody to be a friend of mine. I'm not gonna beg anybody to do anything for me. I've walked alone for a long time in my life. And people that know me best know that I don't play that game. You know, I'll gladly just let people just drift on away. Just like a hot air balloon, they'll just drift right off. I'm not going to bring excess negativity into my life. I'm cutting some of the YouTube channels I've been watching because apparently these people have gotten into a world of negativity, to say the least. I don't care what they say. They can claim that they're not about negativity, but yet they're in a negative world. Okay? They wanted to delve into that world, and now I'm getting drips of other stuff from other channels because of it, and I don't want that. Yeah. All that drama, all that bull crap they got going on. That has got to be the most childish thing I have ever seen. It's just ridiculous. It really is. I mean, I'm really shocked. I'm really shocked at, you know, who is involved with this, to be honest with you. Really, I'm really shocked. But that being said, I don't need that type of crap in my life. You know, when I go to watch something on here, I don't need to watch a bunch of bull crap. You know, and it just comes on my feed because somebody else has got stuff going on in their life. Y'all can have all that, man. You know, I know that ain't nobody watching me. I know ain't nobody paying me no kind of attention. You just 5 or 6 people that watch my videos, and that's fine. But somebody will see this, and I'm really surprised. I really am. But I'm gonna cut some of these YouTube channels I've been watching, and I had already cut some anyway. I'm gonna just cut it down some more. This looks like this is gonna be the year of doing some cleansing in my life, which is a good thing. You need a good cleanse every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? You know. I was talking to a guy the other day. You know, what was the Damon Wayans used to say? Homie, don't play that. So I'm gonna see if some of these people can clean up their act a little bit. If not, I'm just gonna cut them loose. You know, and I know they probably don't care, but you know, I've been supporting some of these channels, and I'm really surprised, to be honest with you. I mean, if your motivations are, whatever your motivations are, it don't make, it's just nonsense, what it is. You know, but anyway, I just wanted to break this down like I said, down to a kindergarten level or less, preschool, pre-kindergarten, whatever. Break it down for all you idiots out here that slow roll it through a truck stop because you don't want to trip your daggum, you don't want to trip your e-log. Well, it ain't my fault that you can't plan your trip right. It ain't my fault that you go through a shipper slow rolling it, trying not to trip it because you can't plan your trip right. That's not my problem. And I'm just tired. I'm very, very, very sick to death tired of it. So this probably just people need to clean up their act. So y'all take it easy.